Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle products that are friendly to your skin. And today I'm not going to be talking about any products. I really feel called to take a step back right now, slow it down just a second, and I really want to talk about gratitude and abundance, especially during this season. American Thanksgiving is upon us soon, and also all the sales are upon us. The holidays are here, and everybody's trying to get us to open up our wallets right now with really enticing sales and deals. And it's a great time of year. Like, I get excited about the sales just as much as you probably do, but I also do feel like it is so easy to go overboard. It is so easy to get caught up in the anxiety and the overwhelm of buy, and do it right now because the sale is happening now. It's Black Friday. Ugh. You know, the old saying goes, I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but I feel really compelled to talk about treating yourself too much during this season, overcoming the anxiety and overwhelm of all of the sales, and just really feeling like you are enough and that you are abundant and that you already have what you need during this time. So if this sounds like something you need to hear right now, keep watching, hit the thumbs up video, and let's get into it. So my approach to this is really just asking myself two simple questions before I hit purchase. Really kind of doing like a gut check, stopping yourself before you kind of impulsively hit purchase. So the very first question, this is a really important one, a very first question that you want to ask yourself is, do you need this item? Because, the thing is, we always find reasons why we need something. I personally find myself, I love to buy clothes. And I often find myself justifying why I need a certain item because I'm like, well, I'm going to wear it in my videos. Like, it's going to look so cute in this video. And I don't have a lot of winter tops. So I want to have something to change it up on YouTube. That's often a justification that I will use for purchasing clothes. That's not what I'm talking about. Do you need it? I'm talking about, does this particular item add something new or different, or does it serve a purpose that nothing else that you own does? Is it actually going to be used? Are you actually going to appreciate this? Is it actually something that you need? So here's an example. I really need underline winter boots. Not exactly where I want to be spending my money because I don't think winter boots, as cute as you can find them, they're really not that fun. They're really not that fashionable. They're usually really heavy and clunky, and I'd love to get like some fashion boots or something. But let me tell you, the one pair of winter boots that I wear every single day for about 4 to 5 months straight, going out with my dog Piper multiple times a day in all kinds of weather, in all kinds of wet, slushy snow. That one pair of boots that I've had for a very long time, it has a hole in the toe. So at the end of last winter, I was feeling some water in my socks as I was walking my dog during, like snowstorms and stuff. So I definitely do need a new pair of boots because I do not want to be dealing with snow in my shoes, all winter long. And I don't have any other kind of winter wear boots that are going to be waterproof, right? So that's definitely a purchase that I'm looking at this Black Friday season. And it's definitely something that passes that question. Do I need it? Absolutely. I really do. But maybe you are looking at skincare, products, something where it gets a little bit more hazy. Like, do I need it or do I want it? Two separate things, right? So maybe you're looking at a serum. Maybe I've recommended it or talked about it a lot, or maybe somebody else has. You've read lots of reviews about it. Maybe that's just something that you wanted for a while, but you're not sure if you should get it. What I will say on that is do the same kind of gut check on that. Is this a serum that is going to be different than any other products that you have right now? Is it offering something completely different? Is it an ingredient that you've always wanted to try that you don't currently have in your skincare rotation? Is it a texture that seems like it's really going to suit your skin? Is it geared towards a skin condition that you have? Maybe you're trying to treat hyperpigmentation, or you need something that is really gentle for eczema prone skin. Does that serum, I mean, honestly, answer this question for yourself. Is it really going to add something new and different that you're really going to appreciate and use in your skincare routine? Or is this a product that is very likely going to go into your back like stash of products and probably not be opened until March or April if you're lucky? Like, how much stuff do you already have? How much stuff do you love, appreciate, and use already? Is this item going to be loved, used, and appreciated? Or is this just going to be an item that you get and then that just sits there for a while? It's always like a gamble with skincare because we never know if it's going to work for us or not. But I feel like, you know, if you're watching my channel, you're probably super into watching a couple different reviews, looking at ingredients, doing your own research before you hit purchase already. But even so, even when we do all of that work, especially for beauty and skincare products, sometimes we still end up with too much, more than we could possibly use. So that's why I really want you to deeply ask, is this something that you really need? Is it something you're going to use? And is it something that you're going to appreciate? Because just because it's a good deal now doesn't mean it's a smart purchase now. Right? So ask yourself that, do that gut check, because ultimately it's going to be better for you. It's going to be better for your wallet. It's going to be better for your sanity. And think about it, it's also going to be better for the planet. The second question that you need to ask yourself before you hit purchase this Black Friday season, you need to ask yourself why. Why do you want this thing? Why are you attracted to it in the first place? And I don't mean why do you need it, because we have already covered that in the first question. I'm really trying to dig at a deeper root, maybe even potentially emotional reason why you want a certain thing, why you want to buy that. You know, is this like the 10th serum that you've purchased in like a couple of months because maybe skincare is one of your only self-care practices right now and you are craving so much self-care? And so you find yourself buying all the skincare because it's the only, you know, way that you give yourself self-care. It's that only permission slip that you give yourself. And so you're panic buying maybe even like all of this skincare that you couldn't ever possibly use, that you couldn't ever possibly put onto your face all at once, but it's just because you want self-care. You want self-care, and skincare makes you feel the vibes of self-care. That might be your reason why. And that's definitely not a reason why you should buy that thing. That's something that you need to look at within yourself. And how can you nourish yourself? How can you give yourself permission for deeper self-care? Because you don't have to spend any money to do self-care. You know that, right? You know this. We all know this, but it's hard sometimes. It really is. And I'm saying this because I've been there. I'm saying this because I've done this. I'm saying this from personal experience. You know, you may want a certain clothing item, a dress, a pair of shoes, a bag, something because it makes you feel a certain way. It feels like it says something about who you are as a person. You know, maybe you've been working so freaking hard and you just want to reward yourself, you know? And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying understand why you're doing that. You know, be fully aware with both eyes open about why you're attracted to things. Because so often it's not because we need it, and it's not just like a really easy, well, I want it. There's often a deeper emotional tie behind buying things. That's just the way that the world is, right? Understanding why we're attracted to things, understanding why we want things is important, because you probably have gone through this before where you want all the skincare, or you want all the clothes, or you want all the bags, or whatever it is, that whatever your thing is, you want them all. And you're so excited and you're picking them all out and you're pressing purchase and you're waiting anxiously for your box, and then you get your purchase and you open it up and you're like, yay, I have all my things. This is so good. And that lasts for about 5 minutes. That like feeling, that like excitement, right? That little twinge. It is just a little twinge, right? That little twinge of happiness. It only lasts for a little bit. It's so temporary. It's so temporary because the thing is, it's not that thing that nourishes us. It's not that thing that solves our deeper, you know, issue, our deeper wants, right? It's usually often just something we're using to pacify ourselves. Sometimes it's even something we're using to ignore the deeper issue of self-care, right? The deeper issue of nourishment, the deeper issue of, you know, giving yourself sacred rest and pause. We're just distracting ourselves with things. That's not to say that like you don't want the thing and that the thing isn't going to make you happy and that you're not going to like having it. I'm not saying don't buy anything. I'm just saying understand why you want it in the first place. Because you might be able to actually nourish yourself in a deeper way, a more meaningful way, a way that's actually going to last rather than just filling your life up with things. Because what we own does not define who we are. It doesn't say anything about us. Owning a bag doesn't make you successful. Having a pair of shoes doesn't make you powerful. Having a ton of skincare doesn't mean that yourself is nourished and taken care of, right? So these are two gut check questions that you need to ask yourself before you hit purchase. And oftentimes, if like you're purchasing from a place of lack, from a place of fear, from a place of feeling not good enough or needing deeper things that go beyond purchases, if you answer these two questions honestly, you will very likely walk away from that purchase. So here's a few other things to consider during this very chaotic sale season. A way to kind of catch your breath, a way to kind of like calm and soothe your soul just a little bit. The first thing that you might want to consider is planning and budgeting your purchases. This is really crucial around the holidays, right? Especially when we're buying gifts for not only ourselves, but for other people. Really planning out what we want to get and budgeting accordingly, because when you're researching and planning around your purchases, you're very often buying only the things that you need when you're taking that time, right? But when you're budgeting for them, it really allows for guilt-free purchases. So this is more of a long-term solution, maybe something that you need to like work on slowly in the future for upcoming sale seasons. I just did a really great informative episode with a financial planner on my podcast that give you some really good ideas around starting budgeting and saving. Something I want to encourage you to think about during this really chaotic season, something that I think can really help us come back to center and really help ground us, is really thinking about embracing the concept of abundance. Because as I mentioned earlier, oftentimes we are panic buying because we don't feel like we have enough. We feel insecure in some way. We feel a sense of lack in our lives. We don't feel good enough. We don't feel successful enough. We don't feel pretty enough. We don't feel whatever enough, right? And sometimes we use products or things that we want to buy as ways to kind of fill those voids in our life. But that never works. It never works. That's why when the purchase comes, you're happy for like 5 minutes, but then you're scrolling, looking for the next thing to kind of fill the void because it's just not doing it, right? It's just not going to. You are not defined by what you have. You are not defined by what you wear, by what you own. You are defined by who you are as a person. And I promise you, everything you need, you do already have. Everything you need, you have in here already, right? Everything you need, truly, remember the true definition of need, you already have around you, right? So really think about embracing the concept of abundance, that you already are abundant. You're not lacking things. You have so much already. This is the perfect season to practice gratitude. Writing down in a journal, like right before you go to sleep or right when you wake up in the morning, a couple of things you're grateful for, big, small, and in between, because I promise you have a lot to be grateful for in your life. It's just sometimes we don't recognize it. And when we recognize it, it feels like a lot of that lack goes away. A lot of those voids kind of close themselves up, right? And it really does help ground us in, like I said, a very kind of chaotic, anxiety-filled season. And this is really, we're coming up on the holidays here. This is a really great time to send out some gratitude letters if you feel so inclined. Telling people in your lives why you're grateful for them, why you're so grateful they are a part of your life, what they have done for you, how they've made a difference. That's one of the greatest gifts that you can give. It really is. So those are just some things that we can do this season. There's nothing wrong with purchasing. There's nothing wrong with taking part of sales. I definitely will be too. But taking part in a more conscious way, taking part in a more grounded way, and being a little bit more mindful about how we're purchasing this season, and being mindful of the other things that we can do to really fill our cup. So if you know somebody who needs to hear this advice right now, please do consider sharing this video with them any way that you can. And if you got value from this, if this video, helped you out at all, but you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do consider hitting subscribe to my channel. I mostly talk about skincare products, but I do also sometimes go a little bit deeper and talk about self-care topics just like this one too. So if that's your vibe, please do consider hitting subscribe. I hope you're healthy, I hope you're happy, and I hope you're safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.